Well, definitely, just exactly nothing's really changed since last night. Just brutally painful to watch it all over again. Just so many opportunities to win the game. Our players and coaches absolutely laid it on the line, and we did a lot of things again that indicate winning. We outgained them 100 plus yards. I thought we were incredibly physical. Outrushed them 146 yards to 22. That probably won't happen again all year, that somebody holds them to 22 yards rushing. I think they had one in the second half. And, more first downs, never trailed in regulation. So many good things. I mean, we just literally needed one more play on offense, defense, or kicking game to have won the game. And so it's certainly incredibly painful to watch it. Again, I thought our guys just played their tails off, and defensively played tough, played physical. It's probably as good a second half of defense as I've seen in a long time, to hold that bunch to 3 points in the second half and 1 yard rushing. They dominated the second half against LSU, and just really proud of our guys. 1.1 a carry, and we did a great job of third and fourth down. They were 5 of 15, and we got after the quarterback. So we did a lot of things. Had a few critical errors. Obviously, the first half they did get 2 touchdowns, and we need to make one of those a field goal. We had a bust on a coverage on third and long, and we jumped the screen as opposed to just have a little more discipline right there. And then the 2-minute drive up 17-7 was a critical situation. We had a busted call there as well. And then but man, outside of that, they really did a lot of great things, and I'm super proud of them for that, and how they played and gave us a chance to win. And then offensively, same thing. So many good things. Outgained them 100 plus yard, outrushed them 429 total yards. Cade had his best game. Just continues to get better. Our receivers, tight ends, and backs all made plays. Our protection was really good from our OL. The OL did not give up a sack. We had 3 starters out in Parks and Cole and Antonio, and just a lot of good things. The biggest disappointment was obviously you feel like you're about to go up 31-14 or 31-17 or 27-17, and we get the big sack TD, and that's kind of been the story of our 2 losses. It's not just getting a turnover. It's points off turnovers. I mean, it's just, I've never really been a part of anything like it. But it's painful. But at the end of the day, man, everybody laid it on the line, and a lot of good things we can build on. And again, never really been a part of a turnover situation like this, but I do know that, that worm will turn. We've had a lot of turnovers here and there, but not that are, 71-yard scoop scores, pick sixes. It's just been a really, really crazy situation for us. And that's why we're 2-2. I mean, I know that simplifies it, but it's really that simple. I mean, we're 2-2 because it's all about the ball. And, but we can't let the scoreboard, make us lose sight of the good things we are doing. And certainly, the fact that our players absolutely played their hearts out. I mean, absolutely. And, tough, game for sure to bounce back from, but our guys will do that, man, for sure. It's because I know these guys are and our staff. I mean, they're made of the right things, and it's we'll bounce back because we've got a bunch of good people here. And injury wise, we actually came through pretty good. We actually got best case scenario with Nate, which was certainly a shot in the arm for us to get that news. I think everybody else, you guys talked about Walker yesterday, but everybody else looks to be, we got some guys, getting some normal treatment type stuff. So very encouraged with the news that we got on Nate. So a lot of great things in the game. Bottom line is winning, but our guys competed their butts off, and I know our record isn't what we want it to be, but if we'll continue to play the way we're playing, we can have a great year. So just got to find a way to go on the road and win a game this week and try to build some momentum. Any questions?
Hey, Coach, it's David Hood. What is the good news on Nate? If you can share it, I guess he had an MRI today, and
Yep.
kind of what is his long-term prognosis?
Yeah, just more of a bone bruise, no ligament damage or anything like that. So that's the good news.
I had somebody on Twitter use a couple of great words about the turnovers, and one said there's turnovers, and then it seems like Clemson's have been catastrophic, and another one said Titanic-like. Have you ever, in all of your years of football, seen where turnovers have been, as they put it, catastrophic or Titanic like these?
No, I've not. I mean, I've gone back and looked. I've had people look it up, and I mean, it's just crazy. I mean, last year, for example, I mean, we gave up 38 points off of turnovers all year in 14 games, and we've given up 36 in 4 games, and that's why we're 2-2. I mean, again, I know nobody wants to hear that, but that's the facts. You got 2 first and goal, and that's how fickle things are. Listen, we've lost games around here where I'm pissed off because I thought we played terrible. Whatever. But man, our guys have played their butts off. They have. I mean, I just tell you when they don't. But I mean, we've just had some crazy, crazy situations. I mean, and I know what the perception is, but the reality is these guys are 3 plays from being a 4-0 top 5 team. And that's a fact. Nobody wants to hear that, but and we're 2-2, but we're still a hell of a team. And these guys, if they continue to play the way they're playing, that worm will turn. I've never been a part of it. I mean, it's one thing to have a turnover, but I've never been a part of anything like this where, and it's not like it's all on your defense. I mean, these are scoop scores, pick sixes, just crazy stuff that is costly. And in the games that we played, I mean, it's a couple plays. I mean, yesterday was literally one play. You change one play, offense, defense, kick game, you win. And in a game you never trailed, a game you outgain them. Stat wise, we got great stats, but the only stat that matters is winning and losing. And we're 2-2, and we've earned that. Just with the ball. I mean, you go back to 2016, which was a year that I was not real happy. Even though we were winning, I was not real happy in how we were playing. We're playing better right now than we were in the beginning of 2016. We were really sloppy. And but we were winning. We had 6 turnovers in our first 4 games that year. But guess what? They got no points off those turnovers. They were kind of what I would call normal turnovers. Whereas this year, obviously, first 4 we've had 7 turnovers and 36 points. So yeah, it's kind of crazy, and it's just one of those things that you just gotta keep going. You got to press on and you got to play through it. And again, I've been doing it long enough to know that we'll get our way through it. You play or coach this game long enough, hey, you're gonna have some adversity and some crazy things go against you. That's just a fact, But the critical decision is just how you respond to it and making sure that you know what perception is and what reality is, and then you keep moving forward. So that's what we'll do, man. We'll keep pressing on, and we've played better every single week. As far as the things that you have to do to win games. Physicality, execution, playmaking, details. Not that we've been perfect. There's still room for improvement, but the ball security and just the titanic proportion of those issues have cost us a couple games.
Hey, Coach, it's Trevor from CUTigers.com. Defense was incredible yesterday, but there are 2 backs hit you for some big gains in the passing game. I know that was something that y'all were keying on. How much of that is just have to tip your hat to those being really good backs?
Yeah, I mean, I thought we held them in check for the most part. They got one a 2-minute drive there where we just took our eyes off our guy and peeked in the backfield, and that's all it takes for a guy to get a step on you. But for the most part, we covered them pretty good. We had a couple plays down the sideline and things like that. I don't know how many wheel routes Barrett was out on, but we did a nice job again to hold that group. I think they were seventh in scoring offense coming in here, so it's never perfect, but our guys, our defense. I mean, again, especially the second half, that's probably as good as I've seen in a long time. Those guys played outstanding all throughout the game.
Dabo, this is Larry. Your last two trips there close to the end zone, was there any thought to, with your throwing it up into the end zone, letting one of your receivers in man coverage try to make a competitive play in the end zone?
Yeah. Just we went through everything this morning, obviously as a staff, and just listening to Garrett's comments. I mean, there's probably one call he wishes he'd have had back, but again, guys played well offensively, gave us plenty of opportunity to win it for sure. But they kind of lit us up a little bit and went to some cover zero. I really like the third down call that he made with the quarterback. I mean, we just didn't fit it quite right with our one block there. That thing is going to crease and go. But yeah, probably one call there that he wishes he'd had back. But I thought he called a heck of a game, and again, gave us a chance to win.
Yeah, well, this is Chapel with the State. You've complimented players a lot. I guess what's kind of your opinion on what you and the coaching staff can do to kind of turn stuff around? Like, what was kind of that message today? I know you pinned a few things on coaching specifically yesterday.
Well, I'm not sure what things you're talking about. Pinned on coaching. The biggest thing is just, I think, when you watch the tape, I mean, everything you're asking these guys to do, they're playing their tails off. There's a couple of little things here or there, detail wise, technique wise, that we can certainly improve on, and then a couple of situational things that you just gotta keep teaching. And the ball security, we had a protection breakdown, and something we worked all week, and we just didn't check the other side, and so we get hit there. That was a critical play in the game, but we just got to all take ownership of what you see on tape. And again, it's way, way, way more good than bad. But there's still, even if we'd have won the game, we'd be sitting here going, well, man, we had a couple of times where we got to be a little smarter with our eyes. We had a couple of communication breakdowns. We had a couple of bad penalties. We had the 3rd and 1 in overtime. Situational awareness. We got to be better there. So those things would still be there. We had a couple of catch techniques where we're backpedaling and we should not be backpedaling. So there's always stuff. We had to waste a timeout on 3rd and 20 from a communication standpoint. We had a bust at the end of on the 2-minute drive that put us in a bind and led to a 3-man rush. I mean, there's a lot of things that you watch the film, but everything that you need to do to win the game except the critical turnover, we did. And I promise you that. And that's probably the biggest disappointment. And I knew going into the game, if we lost the turnover margin, we weren't going to win the game. And if we tied it or we won it, we would win the game. And that was the number one thing, and that's what happened. We were close to getting a turnover, but we didn't get it. But, man, we got after them. And super pleased with our D-line and how physical they were. I thought we made a ton of competitive plays. I was really concerned about that. We had a bunch of PBUs, a bunch of competitive plays. We disrupted the quarterback and made him, uncomfortable and have to get rid of it early. That's why we, played as much man coverage as we did, because we didn't want to let him sit back there and just, get comfortable. So just unfortunate, again, it's one that that one's going to leave a scar, man. Live with that one forever. Kind of honestly feels like the couple of games, probably the 2010 Florida State game down there. We led that entire game. In 2 seconds, they kicked like a 55-yard field goal, and Auburn in 2010, that game, probably 2014 FSU game with, we got the first and goal on the 1, and then we get the ball, and we're setting up the field goal, and we fumble it. And then probably the 2015 Natty, that's kind of how I felt, we did games, all those games you felt like you did everything you needed to win the game, but somehow you didn't win. And those stick with you, man. Those leave a scar. But I got a lot of scars, and all those scars remind me that, hey, they healed up, and you live through it, and you keep fighting for another day. And that's exactly what we do, man. It's just, tough times, man. When things don't go the way you want it, I mean, it brings out the best in some people, and it brings out the worst in others. And it just depends. So I know we got a bunch of great people here, and we bring out the best in all of us, and we'll keep moving forward. Let's see if we can find a way to win a game this week. That's all our focus on. So big day tomorrow with our team, and kind of mental Monday, and resetting these guys. And got another tough challenge this week. We got to put our eyes forward on.
Coach, it's Trevor again on that sack by Xavier Thomas. I think, if I'm not mistaken, it was a 3-man rush. How impressive was that for him to be able to get home?
Yeah, it was awesome. 3rd and long, and we dropped 8 right there. Man, he not just that play. He played his best game. He had, I think, 20-something production points for us. I mean, he was physical. He was fast. I mean, it was impressive. And if we can bottle that up, and he brings that every week, he's going to have a heck of a year. And so I was proud of him. I thought all those guys, again, up front, competed their tails off. And, just hate that didn't get rewarded for it. But that was one of the better plays you'll see, as far as his speed and his ability to turn the corner, and then to be able to go, get that quarterback who's a great player.
Dabo, it seemed like there were quite a few batted balls, including the last one to throw to Bo. Is it too many? And I'm just curious for your thoughts on that sort of.
No, just untimely, just them getting their hands up. In fact, that's one of the things that we got to do a better job of, is get our hands up. There's a couple plays where, if you're not getting home to the quarterback, you got to, because sometimes you got quick game or things, and the ball's coming out before you can get there. So you got to get your hands up, play with your length. And, they had one early. We had Adam Randall wide open. D tackle just stuck his hand up at the opportune time. And then on that last play, we got a nice little slant route. Bo did a nice job of winning inside, and I think it was number 11 just kind of looped around, and he's not going to get there, and he sticks his hands up and batted it down. So just tough deal right there. But at the end of the day, we were 25 for 38. I'll take that every week, and so just a couple of tough breaks for us.
Had you made up your mind in overtime? Had y'all scored a touchdown, would you have kicked an extra point?
Oh yeah, definitely.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Coach, go ahead. Coach, Trevor.
Go ahead, Trevor.
Okay. I know you had a lot of recruits at the game yesterday. How big was just the atmosphere, and what a sensational game it was from a recruiting standpoint?
It was incredible. In fact, we were just talking about that. I was down. We were having dinner after our staff meeting before this call here, and I was actually sitting with Garrett. And that was exactly what he said. He's like, "Man, Coach, that atmosphere is unbelievable. It's unbelievable." And that's pretty cool, to hear, obviously he's new here, but he's been around a lot. And we were literally just talking about, how special it was. And man, I hurt for all of our fans that we weren't able to reward them. Because man, they did their part. They were freaking amazing. I mean, it was awesome. And I hate, you're driving down, you just hit a 40-something yard play. You figure you're going to go up 31-17 or 27-17. And I wish we could have been able to finish that not get that scoop score, because I would have loved to have seen the Valley in the fourth quarter there with the 2-score lead. That would have been. I've seen that before. That would have been amazing, but it was awesome. Our fans were incredible, as they always are. Amazing environment, and we've had a lot of good days there, and we got a lot more ahead. Just wish we could have rewarded them yesterday, as that was a big time missed opportunity.
Yeah, but
Hey,
what's
Coach
the,
David,
what's
David
the,
again. I'm sorry. Go ahead, Larry.
I was just going to ask is there a timeline on Antonio, a feeling on his availability this week?
We'll see tomorrow. All these guys are in today and tomorrow, and we'll see him tomorrow afternoon. But I think he's gotten better every day, so he's still just day to day. I'll know more when we meet with him tomorrow after treatment today. But he's getting better.
Hey, Coach, it's David. Just really quick on Syracuse, Garrett Schrader doing Garrett Schrader things up there. They're undefeated. Have you been able to take a look at any of their film and kind of get a feel for what's allowed them to start off so hot?
Yeah, I'm just diving into all that. Earlier today, as far as just kind of getting through some of my scouting report stuff. But I mean, it starts with him. I mean, he's a big old lumberjack, man. That dude he's a good football player, and so it's early for me right now, but we'll be diving into that all night tonight. So don't know a whole lot about him other than what I've just seen on the scout report to this point. But I know all I need to know about. Defensively, they're always going to be a team that's going to pressure. They get after you up front. I know they got a pretty good offensive line, and they got a daggum quarterback that's a problem. So I know that, and it's a tough place to go play. So we'll have our hands full, and huge battle, as they all are. And but for us, man, we got to find a way to just find a way to win a game and not lose a game. And if we can do that, that's kind of the next step for us.
What was your evaluation of Tristan and Colin at left tackle yesterday?
Yeah, they both did some good stuff. I thought Colin gave up. I think Thomas got mad at him one time because he let a guy beat him inside on inside zone. But man, he's a good young player, man. I thought they held up well. I mean, those are some that defense. That's probably the biggest thing we were pleased with was our ability to get the run game going. The physicality up front, and the fact that the OL didn't give up any sacks. Now, I know there was a couple sacks, but they weren't on the OL. We thought they competed their butts off, a couple pressures, but those two young guys, did a pretty good job, as far as how they graded and all that. I'd say Tristan probably graded out just a little bit better that game, but both did a nice job, and both are on their way to being really good players for us.
Coach, speaking of that, it seemed like it was really tough sledding in the run game early, but then you broke some big runs late. Do you think Will and Phil were able to kind of wear them down as the game went on?
Yeah, I thought our staff did a really good job at halftime. I thought they really did a nice job, and then I also think Garrett did a nice job of not abandoning the run. We hung in there with it, and we ended up getting it going, and I thought was wearing them down there. Just didn't finish. So that's a tough front, man. Those backers, and they're built like us, but again, to rush at 146 to 22, most of the time you win that game, but just one more mistake than they made. They made one more play than we did, and that was the difference in the game.
Anybody else for Coach?
Dabo, just at cornerback, I know you mentioned you feel good about Nate, but rotation wise behind him, would that mostly be J. Lou stepping in if he's going to miss a few games?
Yeah, I don't know what if he's missing a game or not, but J. Lou's definitely our. It's kind of those three we kind of look at as starters. They're all three playing kind of starter reps, so we feel good. And J. Lou obviously they had a great play there in overtime. It was a heck of a throw and catch, but that kid's getting better and better. I mean, he's playing with his length. He's learning a lot with his technique. His confidence is growing, and we're pretty pleased. I thought Sherry held up well the whole game. We had the one PI that was close, but and then Nate played outstanding. He played a heck of a game for us.
Anybody else? All right. Thank you, Coach.
I appreciate it.